I think ever since the beginning of the season, we started off, we weren't really clicking, things weren't really going good. But this young team, we learned some things and we've grown together as a team. And now that we're coming together and it's a lot stronger, I think we're playing well because we're playing and we're feeding off each other.
Offensively, what have you done to kind of, as you mentioned, kind of click and kind of find your groove as a unit?
I think that just came with experience. We got a lot of juniors on the offense starting, so I think getting a few games in, getting some experience under our belt, I think that really helped us to start and get things going.
What's the focus in week leading up to Wayne? I mean, what do they do well? What are some of the things you guys are working on to counter their strengths this week?
Wayne's a very athletic team. They're always going to be athletic, and they've always got, some good backs. They have Young and the other Young, so, they're like a dynamic duo right there, so we just got to cut the head off the snake with them, I think, to counter them. And as an offense for us, I think that they're fast and they're athletic, but I think we can pick their defense apart.
When you take a look at this Snider team and the way the standings are shaping up, this is a game, if you want to have a victory bell for the third straight year, this is a game you guys have to win. Is that how you approach it and that the mentality you have knowing that this could kind of define how your regular season ends up?
Yeah, we approach every game as if it's a championship game. This is basically like a championship game for us. If we lose, we don't have the SAC championship. So I think that we're all preparing really hard for this game, and we're all ready for it.
Final question, what are you most looking forward to about Friday's game?
Friday's game, I'm most looking forward to playing against some of my brothers. Some guys over at Wayne used to go to Snider, and they moved over there, and they've been talking. So I'm ready to play against them.
Obviously, it's a big game this coming Friday. What are you guys working on in practice to get ready and counter what Wayne does on Friday? What's the focus in practice?
We focus on being physical and running to the ball as a defense, and then on offense, we focus on working on pass game and a run game and improving in it.
You guys have played some good football the last couple of weeks, including a win against Homestead last week, pretty definitively. What are you guys doing well as a defense that you're going to try to roll over into this week?
Just being physical up front and then locking down the best in the secondaries, and then our linebackers filling their gaps. So, yeah.
What are your biggest concerns with Wayne?
Their speed and their ability to sub running backs in and just keep running it.
When you take a look at this team, the Snider team on paper, where have you guys improved the most since week one defensively?
Defensively, we've improved on basically running to the ball and keeping our heads and all that stuff and not listening to the outside noise.
Obviously, the way the SAC is shaping up, if you guys want the victory bell for a third year in a row, this is a must-win game for you guys. Is that how you approach it, and what is your attitude, I guess, as a team approaching this game?
It's a normal game. We're going to keep playing hard like we do every Friday night.
Final question, what are you most looking forward to about this Friday's game?
Just playing. Just playing with my brothers, having fun out there. Yeah.
Obviously, a big game, Coach, with the Wayne Generals this coming Friday night. What's the focus in practice this week to get ready for what Wayne presents?
Well, a lot of open field tackling, tackling guys in space. Offensively, they do a good job of getting their ball toucher guys the ball in space where they can have room to operate. And then, they run the ball very well, too. They get in formations that they kind of say, we're going to run it right at you. And so, it's a multifaceted approach that we have to defend. We have to be good in space, but we have to be good when you got guys coming right down your throat running the ball.
Obviously, you guys are playing some pretty good football. A win against Homestead last week, took control of that game in the second half. What are you guys doing well that you're trying to carry over into this Friday's game?
We're just getting better at everything we do. We're getting better blocking. We're getting more physical blocking. We're getting better at running routes. We're getting better at reading the concepts. We're getting better at making the cuts as running backs. On defense, we're getting better at being in our gaps, being gap sound, getting off blocks. We're getting better at tackling. We're getting better at, playing the coverage that's called and having our eyes in the right position. I just think we're getting better all the way around, and that's equating to playing better on Friday nights. But, we know we have to play better this Friday than we did last Friday to be successful.
When you take a look at the SAC standings, if you guys want to have the victory bell for a third year in a row, this is really a must-win game for you guys. Is that how you approach it? Is that the mentality of this team?
We haven't really talked about that at all. We've talked about just getting better, Obviously, things were earlier in the season, we found out lots of things that we didn't do well and we had to get better at. So our focus has not been about, the outcome of the end of the season at all. We just have talked about today, we're doing this drill, we got to get better at this fundamental technique or this aspect of playing your position or this offense, defense, or special team scheme. So It really hasn't been something that crossed our mind. Those things take care of themselves as you get better at the things we're trying to get better at. As evident, Wayne and Snider have put themselves in position to be in a championship caliber game in week 5 or 6 or whatever week it is. And so, by each team doing the things that they need to, because they've gotten better since game 1 too. We're kind of in similar scenarios. And, I think the outcome of the season, certainly Friday night will have a huge implication in who is in position to put themselves in a championship caliber situation at the end of the season, but our focus has not been on those end results per se, just more about what we can take care of right now.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
No.
Appreciate it.